A steady rain was falling that December day when Megan Fraser started her job at the Chilliwack courthouse. She parked her car, flipped down the visor to check her makeup, and smiled back at her reflection. This was it. A new life in a new city, her dream job. All the pieces of her life had now fallen into place. Pretty and young, the world lay before her like a gift waiting to be opened. And this, her orientation day, was the untying of the bow. There was, perhaps, more that was going to be unwrapped than she had bargained for. After all, life is never that simple, is it?
And last but not least, this is the office we'll be sharing. That's your desk in the corner. Sorry, I get the window. Seniority has to count for something.
Oh, that one will be just fine. I can't thank you enough for showing me around.
My pleasure. It's nice to finally have someone sharing the workload.
I can imagine. Everywhere seems to be so short-staffed these days.
I consider myself a patient person, but even I've given up on the drive-thru for my morning coffee.
Well, I consider myself a pretty decent coffee brewer, so I'll make sure that office coffee pot is always fresh.
I'll add that to your list of official duties. Without my morning caffeine, I have no charm at all. I think you and I are going to get along just fine.
Have you been with the firm a long time, Amy?
Gosh, it feels like millennia. I started here right out of college, hired by Mr. Drake himself. I just never strayed too far.
Ah, a career woman. That's what I want to be. Do you have any family?
That was never in the cards for me. I guess I'm married to this job. How about you?
Single, but, I haven't put out that do not disturb sign yet. For now, it's just me, my cat, and a basement suite in Sardis.
Ah, a fellow cat lover. You need to be careful or you'll end up a crazy old cat lady like me. Fur balls and lint rollers have consumed my life.
You're hilarious, Amy. I think I'm gonna have a lot of fun working here.
It's going to be fun working here. Well, you haven't met everyone yet. Mr. Drake's meeting should be over by now. Come on and I'll introduce you to the head honcho himself.
Should I be nervous?
No, you'll be fine. He's a bit of a ladies' man, but I'm sure you can handle yourself.
Mr. Drake's office was not what Megan had expected for a man his age. There were no expensive oil paintings cluttering the walls, no massive oak desk or leather chairs. Everything was sleek simplicity in glass and steel, as equally elegant as it was austere. She had expected to meet a man who resembled her father, balding and paunchy. Instead, the man who rose from his desk to greet her was silver-haired, lean, and with a mature confidence about him that was undeniably attractive.
You must be Megan. Welcome to the firm. I hope Amy's treating you right.
Oh, Amy's been wonderful. It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Drake.
She's had a tour of the office and met everyone except Ryan. He's on a conference call at the moment.
Saving the best for last, are we, Amy? Ryan Richardson, our boy wonder. I could give him a run for his money if I were 20 years younger, but enough about him. We were very impressed with your resume. Smart and good looking too. Now that's a nice combination to have around the office.
She's indeed a very intelligent young woman.
Yeah, I don't really know what to say. I want to thank you for this opportunity, and I hope I live up to your expectations.
And a modest girl too. What an enchanting combination. You're going to be a breath of fresh air around here, isn't she, Amy?
I'm confident that she's going to be a valuable asset in the office.
I certainly am going to try my best.
Has Amy told you she's been here since I first founded the firm?
She did share that with me.
Our dear old Amy. She's been like my right hand, never complaining, always at the ready to do whatever I've asked. She's been more faithful than perhaps I've even deserved. Don't know what I would have done without her, but it's nice to have someone young and fresh around here.
Indeed, Mr. Drake. I hate to interrupt, but don't forget you have an 11 o'clock client coming in.
See what I mean, Megan? Always on the ball is our Amy. I'd better let you lovely ladies go back to what you do best.
Megan, would you please go back to our office and pick up the Cleaver versus Robson file that's on my desk? I have to have a quick word with Mr. Drake about it before his client arrives.
No problem. I'll be happy to help.
Really, David? Can you not control yourself for 5 minutes?
Come on, Amy, it's just a little fun. No harm intended.
And you wonder why we can't keep any female staff.
I do believe you have become a little bit of a stick in the mud.
Sometimes I wonder why I have spent all these years being so faithful to you and you can't even control yourself for 5 minutes around that sweet young woman.
You've lost all your sense of playfulness, haven't you?
For my sake, please don't chase this one away. I just don't think I could take it.
And you're asking me to change? You know me too well for that, my girl. Now, go get me that file, unless, of course, that was a ruse.
Back in their shared office, a befuddled Megan finds Amy's desk clear of any files. Panicked, she searches in confusion, sure that she's made the first blunder of her new job. She turns to the soft click of the door opening, anticipating it to be Amy, and instead, a handsome head of a young man peeks round the door.
Oh, I was looking for Amy.
Oh, I'm sorry. I am. My name is Megan, the new girl.
Oh, right. I forgot you started today.
No worries. You must be Mr. Richardson?
Guilty. Pardon the pun. Nice to meet you, Megan. I can't tell you how happy I am that Amy finally has some help around here.
Oh, well, I'm happy to be of help.
You're in good hands with Amy. There's nothing that goes on in this office that she doesn't know about. Have you met the big cheese yet?
Mr. Drake, we just left his office.
I hope it wasn't too much of an ordeal. He's a bit of a handful, that old silver fox. No filter around young, attractive women.
No worries, but don't let this baby face fool you. I can handle myself.
Excellent. You're just what we need around here.
I sure hope so.
Well, I wish I could stay and chat, but I've got to get back to my desk. When you see Amy, would you please ask her if she could get the Ginsburg file for me?
Certainly.
And one more thing.
Yes?
Please, call me Ryan.
Sorry I was taking so long, Amy. I just can't find those files anywhere.
No worries. It seems Mr. Drake already had it. Listen, try not to take Mr. Drake too seriously with all that flirting.
Don't worry about it. Nothing I can't handle. Mr. Richardson was just here looking for you, and it's funny. He said the same thing.
Ryan is a wonderful young man. He won't give you any trouble.
Yeah, he seems really nice. I think I'm gonna like working here.
Megan did prove to be a valuable asset for the company. It didn't take long for her and Amy to fall into an efficient rhythm. A mutual respect and fondness had begun to form between the two women. With Christmas approaching, they had planned to decorate the office that Monday morning. By the time Megan arrived, the boxes of decorations had already been pulled out of storage. When she went to put her things away, she found a tiny box, wrapped in gold paper and tied with a crimson ribbon, sitting on her desk.
Good morning, Amy. Oh, you didn't have to drag all these boxes out yourself. I could have helped you with that.
Not a problem. There's not many. What do you have there?
I found this on my desk when I came in.
Really? Nobody ever comes in here except you and I. They just stick their head in the door when they want something.
When I saw it, I thought you might have left it.
Sorry to disappoint.
Maybe it was left here by mistake.
Maybe you have a secret admirer around here.
Who, me? I doubt that.
And why not? You're a lovely young woman. Mr. Drake seems quite enamored with you.
Do you think he would have left it?
I don't think so. That doesn't seem to be his style. He's much more overt with his advances. Open it up. Maybe there's a card or something in there.
Oh, Amy, look, it's a little cat pin.
That's very pretty. Is there a card?
Nothing. Just the pin. How would whomever left it know I love cats? Just a lucky guess?
Well, we have ourselves a little office mystery now, don't we? Whodunit of the Christmas gifts.
Amy, are you sure it wasn't you and you're just trying to be coy?
I wouldn't do that to you.
Come to think of it, I do remember talking to Ryan about my cat last week. I think it might have been him.
Ryan? I don't think so, Megan. He's a married man with 2 little children.
I didn't know he was married. He never said anything.
He's going through a bit of a rough patch with his wife right now, but I'm sure they're going to work things out.
But he doesn't even wear a ring.
You seem a bit disappointed.
Well, I'm not sure what to think. He's gone out of his way to be nice to me. We had coffee together yesterday.
I think you might be seeing something that's not there. Better look elsewhere for your secret Santa. Come on, let's get these decorations up before it gets too busy around here.
That first gift was just the beginning of Megan's mystery. Each morning she arrives at work to find another carefully wrapped little box sitting on her desk. On this day, she's worn the cat pin in hopes that it will elicit a clue about who her secret Santa could be. As she enters Mr. Drake's office, Ryan is already there. When she hands him the stack of requested files, she's surprised to see that he is once again wearing his wedding ring.
Here are the files you and Mr. Drake need for your next client. Oh, and the Smiths called to change their appointment.
You're fantastic. What would we do without you?
Oh, I'm sure Amy would have handled it for you.
David should be here any moment. We'll need someone to witness some paperwork, so I'd like you to sit on the meeting.
Of course, Mr. Richardson.
Megan, Mr. Drake may be all caught up in this formality, but not you and I. Please, call me Ryan.
Of course, Ryan. I'm sorry, I suppose I just have other things on my mind.
It has been a bit hectic around here this week. How about you and I grab some lunch at the little cafe on Mill Street after the meeting? We could both use some downtime.
Good morning, Megan. Good morning, Ryan. Sorry I'm late. My cat decided my car keys were a toy, and I couldn't find them till under the sofa.
I bet you would never have guessed that David is a cat lover too, Megan. I don't know what it is about cats and being single, but David falls well and truly into that category.
Well, if you mean cat lover and confirmed bachelor, I definitely fall into that category. Still not too old to play the field, though. Nothing like a little fun now and then. Right, Megan?
Oh, ouch. I apologize for all this testosterone-fueled banter, Megan.
No apology necessary. Mr. Drake is still a very handsome man.
Touche, my girl. See, Ryan? Never too old to play. Speaking of cats, it's a lovely pin you're wearing. Color of the cat's eyes match your own perfectly. Someone must have gone to great lengths to choose that for you.
Thank you, Mr. Drake, but I didn't mention that it was a gift.
Didn't you? Where did I get that idea from?
Megan, would you please make some copies of these before our client gets here?
Of course. I'll be right back.
I'm glad we have a moment to talk, David.
You're very serious all of a sudden. What's on your mind?
We don't have long, so I'll get straight to the point. I don't like the way you're treating Megan.
What? You can't be serious.
She's a lovely young lady who deserves to be treated with more respect.
My. Taking a bit of a shine to her, have you? I've noticed the way you two are fawning over each other. I wonder what your wife would have to say about that.
Leave my wife out of this. All I'm saying is that she deserves better than you pandering all over her as if you have something more to offer her than just a lousy office job.
How interesting. I believe a little green-eyed with jealousy. Don't try to compete with me, young man.
I'm warning you, Drake. Stop treating her like she's some kind of toy to play with at your whim.
You're warning me? It's you who'd better take care. This is one contest you will not win. Enough of your nonsense. Our clients are here.
That was a long meeting. How did it go?
It went well. That should wrap up the Cleaver case.
Are you okay? You look a little upset. I hope David wasn't getting out of hand again.
No, it wasn't Mr. Drake. I noticed Ryan is wearing his wedding ring again.
Look, I know you're infatuated with Ryan, perhaps even secretly hoping he's the one leaving those gifts, but he's a married man, and that can only lead to trouble.
It's just that I'm so confused. He asked me out for lunch again. I don't know what to think anymore.
I've never been one for office gossip, but from what I understand, it was jealousy that caused the rift in Ryan's marriage. His wife accused him of having an office affair. She was even accused of stalking the girl who worked here before you. That, of course, is nonsense.
Maybe I was just hoping it was Ryan leaving them. I do find myself thinking about him maybe more than I should.
Look, I don't want to see you get hurt. So let me give you a bit of advice. When I started working here, I was as infatuated with David as you seem to be with Ryan. Gosh, I was so young and impressionable that I couldn't see that his advances were just a game to him. He played with me like a cat playing with a mouse. And by the time I opened my eyes and accepted the truth of our relationship, it was too late for me. I don't want to see you go down that same road.
Oh, Amy, I'm so sorry that happened to you. But why didn't you just quit?
I don't know. I suppose at some level I was still in love with David. Hope springs eternal, I guess. Before you know it, years had passed, decades even, and here I stayed. I can't even blame David. It was my own misguided faithfulness. I suppose wishing and hoping that things would change, but they never did. And all those years went by, and then you came along. Dear, sweet Megan, who reminds me so much.
Of whom, Amy?
Never mind. Just someone from a long time ago. When I think of all these years I've wasted on someone who didn't deserve it, I don't want to see that happen to you.
Do you mean Mr. Drake?
I think I've said too much already. I don't want to see the same thing happen to you. And please, what I just shared doesn't leave this room.
Of course. You can trust me. I love working with you, and I would never want to let you down.
I love having you here, too. I just couldn't stomach seeing anyone hurt you. I've grown too fond of you for that, Megan.
Truthfully, sometimes I'm flattered by these Secret Santa gifts, but then there are times I just wish they would just come forward and stop playing games with me.
Christmas will be here soon. Maybe after that, all of this will stop.
On December 23rd, the last day of work before Christmas, a soft snow has been falling across the Fraser Valley. The white peaks of the Cheyenne mountain range standing out in bright contrast against the gray skies. That morning, the most elaborate gift of all appears on Megan's desk. She opens the long, slim box to find a bracelet resting on a bed of cotton. Vivid blue stones sparkle against gold, the weight of it surprising her as she carefully lifts it from the box.
Oh, Amy, come look at this.
Wow, that's beautiful. Someone sure likes you.
It looks real. Do you think it could be?
I don't know, but that box looks like it's from the goldsmith shop on Yale.
Come on. Who would spend that kind of money on me? This is beyond.
Have a look on the back. See if it's hallmarked, Megan.
Yep, 24 carats. This is unreal.
It's a lovely gift, but this really concerns me. This is going beyond a little office flirtation. That must have cost a fortune.
There is something else in the box. A little piece of paper?
Well, open it up and have a look. Maybe it will tell you who's behind this secrecy.
It's typed, so we won't be able to figure out who the handwriting is. It says, sapphires and gold can never compare to your beauty and grace. Meet me tonight by 8 by the Jellyfish Jail mural near Mill Street for a moonlit walk in the snow. Oh, how romantic. I can't wait to see who sent this.
You don't seriously intend on going, do you?
Well, why not? It will finally put an end to this once and for all.
I wish you wouldn't do that. This frightens me. You can't go wandering around downtown on your own after dark.
Oh, Amy, don't worry about me. It's fine. I just can't wait to see who's behind this.
Let me come with you then.
That's hardly romantic. Showing up with my coworker. I appreciate your concern, but I can take care of myself.
You're a smart girl. Please, just put aside these romantic notions of yours and look at it logically. You have no idea what you'd be walking into.
You really are worried, aren't you?
I just don't want to see you put in danger. Christmas will be over soon, and maybe this Secret Santa nonsense will stop. You can't be traipsing around in the dark. Who knows what kind of wickedness waits for you out there?
Well, a sapphire and gold bracelet is not nonsense. Who would spend that much money on me and want to harm me?
But you don't know anything about who's behind this. I'm begging you, don't do this.
Oh, Amy, I hate to see you upset. Maybe I do need to take a step back and maybe think about this.
Trust me, nothing good can come from going out there tonight on your own.
But Megan had no intention of heeding that advice. She had a true fondness for Amy, but had assured herself that her future was going to be different. Perhaps it was even going to be a future that included Ryan. One way or the other, she was determined to find out who was behind the Secret Santa gifts. She was wearing the sapphire bracelet and had the note tucked in her coat pocket as she turned onto Mill Street. The old street lights in the parking lot illuminating the sleepy snowflakes as they fell. In the hushed darkness, she wandered the back alleys until she found the mural tucked away in its secluded corner, and what she found took her breath away. The genius of Siobhan de Souza, when she painted Jellyfish Jail, was that it glows in the dark. In its black recess, the sea creatures, in an electric feast of vivid color, seem to swim through the falling snow. So mesmerized is Megan that she doesn't notice the figure beside her until a hand reaches out and touches her shoulder.
Ah! It's okay, Megan. It's just me.
Amy, oh God, you scare me half to death. What are you doing here?
I just needed to make sure you were safe.
You followed me? I can't believe you would do that.
It's for your own good.
My own good? This is ridiculous. I'm a grown woman, not a child. There's not even anyone here to meet. So are you satisfied?
Megan, please, come with me.
Just a second. This has all been a big setup, hasn't it? You're the one that's been leaving those gifts.
No, I would not do that to you.
It's been you all along. You're playing some kind of sick game, aren't you?
No, I haven't. Please, you have to believe me.
You know what? It had to be you leaving those gifts. What is it, Amy? Some kind of twisted jealousy over Mr. Drake? And to think I trusted you. Get away from me.
You can trust me. Megan, I would never hurt you, and I wouldn't let him hurt you either. You have to believe me.
You know, you're really something else. All of you in the office are. I've been so foolish. You, Mr. Drake, Ryan, all of you are playing some silly games. And to think I was falling for it. You know what? I'm going home.
Oh, Megan, please don't leave. Please come back.
Trembling in anger and disbelief, Megan turns to leave. Turning the corner, she spots something that causes her to pause. In the darkness, it would have been easy to miss. Next to some pallets stacked against the brick wall of the store lies something that looks like a figure. As she steps toward it, it appears to be a person lying motionless on the ground.
Megan, please come with me away from here.
There's something lying over there against the wall.
I think we need to leave.
Seriously, what if they're hurt? We need to see and help them.
As Megan moves closer to the figure, she can see it's a man. It's not until she shines the light from her cell phone on him that she sees the blood. A pool of crimson has already soaked into the snow around him.
Oh my God! He's hurt! Look at all this blood!
Don't touch him, Megan.
He could be dying! Help me!
Megan kneels in the snow and reaches out to the body. She puts her hand on his shoulder and shakes it gently.
Hey, mister! Are you okay?
The body falls over onto its back, and it's then that she sees his face.
Ah! It's Mr. Drake! I think he's dead! Call 911! Hurry! I think Mr. Drake is dead!
David Drake was indeed dead. Amy confessed to the brutal crime as soon as the RCMP arrived on the scene. They found, stuck to the hilt in Mr. Drake's stomach, a letter opener with a cat head handle. Megan would have recognized it as the one that usually lay on Amy's desk. It all became quite clear to Amy when that last gift arrived. After all, she knew sapphires were Mr. Drake's favorite stone. She knew everything there was to know about David Drake. Before she left the office that night, she had slipped the letter opener into her purse. It lay beside an old creased letter that Amy always carries with her. If you were to unfold the letter, you would find a faded photo within. It's a photo of a pretty blonde girl, perhaps 3 or 4 years old, a photo of a child who bears a striking resemblance to Megan. It had been sent to Amy by the child's adoptive parents decades ago. Amy had been very successful at hiding her pregnancy. She knew full well that David would never accept being a father. When her due date drew closer, she took her holiday time, and by the time she came back to the office, the baby girl had been adopted, and David Drake was none the wiser. The familiarity and routine of her job had given something for Amy to cling to while she struggled through her grief. Then one day, Megan comes along. Blonde, blue-eyed, sweet Megan, the grown-up version of what Amy imagined her daughter would become. On that winter night, with Christmas just around the corner, it had all become too much for Amy to bear. In that dark alley off Mill Street, with the snow softly falling, Amy had finally put an end to it all.
So, Ryan, I noticed you're not wearing your wedding ring. Again.
Oh, well, sometimes I misplace it. I'm a little forgetful sometimes.
Well, Mr. Richardson, just so you know, I don't care either way.